Hello. I wanted to make a video now about my experience on clearing the chakras. Now, I'm not speaking as some expert on it. It's just my experience, the way it's just happened for me the past half a year. I never did it actually made any conscious effort to target a specific chakra. It just happened and I just went with it. And just had a lot of energy clearing just now, and I thought this would be a good time to share the process, what I do to kind of help myself along the process, and kind of the logic, I guess, of why things happen in the order that they did over the past half a year. So I'm going to start with the third eye chakra, and that opened for me in August. And what happened then is, like, over the summer, I had like extra time on my hands, and I spent a lot of time just online researching, like a lot of us did, and just discovering what's actually going on, which was quite stressful for me. And I had some insomnia, and I just kind of felt the only way for me to get through these days is to meditate. Now, before that, I did meditate, but not on a regular basis, but I knew how. So I sat down and just to get through those days so that I can get up and go to work and just function, I was meditating. So around August, someone mentioned third eye online somewhere, and I was like, well, how do I do that? Now the 11/11 started coming up for me around the same time. I woke up at 11/11 to go use the restroom one day, and I didn't know what it was. My third eye didn't open just yet, and I just kind of thought it was funny. And then a few weeks later, I watched the video, somebody mentioned it, and I was like, oh shit, I saw it. I remember, like, that actually meant something. Wow, okay. And then the third eye app opened around the same time. Now, what continued with that was I was kind of going deeper into that. The way I perceived it opening was during meditation, I started seeing that indigo circle. And then just diving deeper into it, it would expand. So like the vision, the screen, the inner screen that we have just filled more with the indigo color, and then with different colors, just rainbow just going on for a while. Then that set off a chain of events. I started researching on Egypt, and then a few weeks into that, you've probably heard of the guy Jason Shurka about the pyramid code. He showed up, and I was like literally a week prior to that started researching about Egypt. His video triggered my memories. I started getting visions of the same story that he was telling. Now I reached out to him, and he didn't want to know anything about it. I reached out to him many times to say, look, I'm getting these visions. I don't know what to do here. But he didn't want to continue. He didn't want to engage about it. He didn't want to know anything about it. Now, I'm saying this not to stir up drama. I'm saying because this is a video about me sharing everything, because it's all relevant to the chakra opening and releasing of all the energies. So him showing up in my life and triggering the memories, but also triggered a lot of emotions. And it particularly triggered the heart wall. So I started feeling the heart wall. And also it started, I started feeling the solar plexus chakra. So it's both chakras. And two people kind of showed up in my life because I was like wondering, should I speak to like a healer or who do I trust? There's so many out there. And two people were brought on my path. I had scheduled an appointment with both of them. And both of those sessions targeted the heart wall. So that's when I started clearing out the heart wall, feeling it, literally feeling like chunks were removed at one time, you know, at one sitting. Intense emotions, more memories, more visions. The solar plexus chakra, like I would feel it all the time. Like if anything is going on, that's where you're going to feel it first. That's our diaphragm. So that's our connection to our breath. Everything gathers at our solar plexus. So when I feel like purging the energy or releasing the energy, I feel it gathering from all parts of the body to the solar plexus, and then it gets released like a yank. So with a very sudden breath, like constantly. I can be lying down and just doing that. This is the only way I can fall asleep actually at this point. And my higher self just says, purge. Just purge until you fall asleep. That's what I do every night. I just purge. I feel the sensation. It gathers. Now it gathers in other areas as well. I feel it in different parts, but everything then converges to the solar plexus and then it gets released. Moving further down, like this is like one month by month, because everything kind of happened in a short time frame. Another person showed up from my past, somebody who brought out very intense emotions in me in the past, but ironically, we actually never really spoke. It's just somebody that we kept bumping into each other. I think I made a video about this, about soul contracts. We kept bumping into each other over the years, several years, but we never really spoke because he had a girlfriend. And then many years went by, never thought of him again, never been in that area. And he just popped up on my Facebook. So I thought this was a sign, and I felt the pull to reach out to him, see like what is all this about. And of course, that brought up a lot of emotion, more of the heart wall. And it's when I started feeling my root chakra. Now the root chakra circulates like this, right? The disc. So when I was sitting down, I can feel the energies kind of circling around my legs. And it will be released through the genitalia. Like it's a canal, so the energy comes out. Now, this video is being completely honest. So I am going to just share whatever happens to the body. It's just the body, right? So that lasted also for like 2 months. And additionally, so a root chakra releases anger, rage, fear. So he triggered those emotions in me. I was very afraid of him. I was very afraid to reach out. I was very afraid to share my truth with him. Like, why am I even reaching out? So I was like playing games with him. And then I finally did it and released the fear. I had a vision of a past life that connected us. I mean, there is definitely more than one past life for sure, because it's a soul contract, it's soul families traveling together. But there's one in particular that really triggered, brings up intense emotions. And it has to do with the war that took place. You know, everybody knows about the war, right? And the way I see him as one of those lizard-like aliens. Like he was one of them. like that attacked. See, it's ringing up already, like, oh, emotion, like that son of a bitch. Yeah, I just feel it. Oh, no, it's just a past life. He was other people that I can identify, like he was, I think, my mother in the Egypt life. I just want to cry right now. No shit. um, yes. It's just coming up. Yeah. I also got the connection at the time with that this memory, this fear connected to my acrophobia. Wasn't sure exactly how. Ooh, feeling it. And so I stayed with it, and again, lasted like 2 months, those sensations. Additionally, my rage, my feelings towards my family were brought up. I felt like I was being like lit on fire. And so yeah, for those 2 months, it was just clearing all of that energy. But definitely when I told him my truth of like what is going on with me, it released and made me feel much better. The same thing with Jason, like I battled telling him the full truth. I told him like bits and pieces through emails, but then I told him the full email of exactly what I wanted to say to him, and it released. So a lot of this had to do with telling the full truth and not being afraid. So that's why these chakras are being cleared so that I can release the truth and the emotions that I carry from those memories. Not to say like I'm going to confront this one for molesting me in a past life, or this one for attacking my homeland, or whatever it is. You know, that was just a vision. Like, it could be symbolic also. Like, it's just, you know, it's emotions they came up. Furthermore, during this time of clearing my solar plexus, so I've had sciatica for like 10 years. And with a lot of people, you know, that who have sciatica, when we feel that pain, we just try to shift, choose a different position. So I decided not to do that so much and just stay in the pain, to try to tolerate it a little bit longer. And the energy would gather at the solar plexus and release. So I would release until like I couldn't take it anymore, and then I would just let it go. So it's like each time, excuse me, I would just do a little bit at a time. Also, something interesting that happened past maybe 2 months during my ovulation phase and my PMS phase, which is very turbulent for me, you know, the switch in the hormones. You know, I release it's a ton of energy for me to release. What I also started noticing is that I'm releasing the energy through my feet. Now, if anybody studied reflexology, I only have a little bit of background in it. Like I went to see an acupuncturist and told me some stuff about it, and just looking up online. Basically, all of our organs, body parts, everything has a connection to our feet, at our bottom of our feet. So when I was seeing an acupuncturist, he was targeting certain pressure points that targeted 3 of our organs for women's menstruation. Now, he was not targeting our ovaries or our uterus. He was targeting the liver, the kidneys, and the spleen, I believe. So he was, and you would think, like, why would those 3 organs, what would they have to do with menstruation? And you know, it has to do with the energy. Like the kidneys control the liquids of the body, the circulation, but they also control that hot and cold aspect. So that's why like women during our different phases in life, due to our hormones, we always suddenly we have hot flashes, right? That has to do with the kidneys, has nothing to do with the uterus itself or the ovaries. So I often would feel like during these two phases, the bottom of my feet would hurt more. There would be more sensitivity. The past 2 months, it would be like the bottom of my foot is swollen, especially last month. Oh my gosh, I had trouble walking on my feet. Especially since we don't walk barefoot anymore and our feet are sensitive now. Those organs are not getting the contact they need. So I was like trying to massage, but also when I'm in bed, I would bring my mind to wherever I'm guided to release energy through my feet. It would be like shooting out of my feet. So that's another interesting thing. And what I was experiencing today was, and it just kind of comes on to me, like I just sat down on my computer to do some work and I started feeling this kind of energy and I could feel it. It was my root chakra is ready. Some energy is ready to be released. So I went to sit down. It was so overwhelming. I was like overcome with nausea. So I thought like, I like to use certain yoga poses for the chakras. Like, let's say if I want to clear more of my heart wall, I would do like chest opening yoga poses. This one I was targeting in the root chakra, so is those those kind of uncomfortable poses that they have, which opens up our private area. And so like the frog pose, or the hip openers basically, and like the baby pose, not the child's pose, but the baby pose where you're on your back and you're gripping to one of your feet and then both feet. So I always felt like when I did these poses, it felt a little bit self-conscious because you feel kind of exposed. But that's perfect because our shame is rooted there, right, in our genitalia. And it's great to release it. So when I sat down to the frog pose, I literally felt like a huge chunk of energy was being released, and it was released through that area. And inwardly, I can just visualize, like it was almost like dark energy was leaving through the canal, and it just kept leaving, and it was just like really overwhelming. I was just like trying to hold on and like try different poses to let the energy leave. But I was like, wow, it was just like really overwhelming. It literally like felt like demons were leaving through that area. And also I was like coughing up a lot, so it felt like all this energy was leaving through my cough. Let me see what else. I've been clearing a lot from my shoulders and my neck. That's been since the very beginning. There's a lot there, and it makes sense. Since very young, I felt like Atlas, like holding the world on my shoulders. So it makes sense that there would be a lot of weight on my shoulders and neck, and it's being cleared out in different ways. Anything else? Another thing to mention, so I mentioned my sciatica, it's on the right side. But since I was young, I had like this knot in the middle of my back on the right side. And I didn't know what it was. I just felt like, oh, because I'm studying so much, it's for school, that it's from that. And it's just interesting how that knot, then there's the sciatica further down. And since I started clearing energy, like these two areas are coming close together and spreading. So it's no longer just a knot, it's spreading, and not just sciatica, but it's spreading around, spreading down, it's spreading up, and just releasing all the time. So clearly there's a lot there. What exactly it is, I think it's just a accumulation of a lot of energy. So little by little, I'm releasing that. I think that's all for now. So yeah, this has been my adventure of clearing out my chakras. If you like this video and if you want to share your experience, I think it's fun because it's kind of crazy, all this stuff. It's kind of, I know there's like meditations for chakra clearing, but what I've been through is not like nice and orderly, just releasing my heart out. No, it's like yank, and I'm crying my eyes out. That's what it is. And just shaking and seeing crazy stuff in visions. So it's not been like nice and orderly and calm. It's been a hurricane and an adventure in like half a year, just a half a year. Yeah. I hope you like this video. Bye-bye.